You ready, baby? Play that Buckle Bunny. Bring us in.
You're listening to the Rhythm and Brews podcast with your host, DJ D.
Already. Let me not. First of all,
Don't jump the gun. Just quit.
can I get a year?
Yeah.
I guess in a couple months it's gonna be your haul.
You're crazy, fam.
Your haul.
Yeah.
But yo, I'm the Podfather Prince Latif. Over there on my far left is
It's your boy, Mr. R&B Smooth, and to my left,
Boy, DJ D Dub, what up?
always on the ones and twos.
and our special guest host of the evening,
Yes, indeed.
a past guest on the show.
Come on.
We got the artist extraordinaire, rapper, singer, chef, all kinds of entrepreneurial things.
Educator.
Got Netta in the building.
Yes,
What up,
indeed.
world? What,
What?
you sipping on?
I was waiting for it. I knew you was gonna do it.
Very good. If you didn't, I was going to deduct points.
Facts. But welcome to Track 107, man.
We made it.
And people have been, yes, the black folks have been listening to country music for about a good month now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not mad at it. It wasn't on my bingo card for the year,
Not at all.
but it's been happening. And, I'm not mad at it at all.
Me neither.
Um,
I just wish it would have came sooner. That's my only thing. Like, because Prince and I, we had a conversation off air
Okay.
via Instagram, to be more specific.
mhm.
And I voiced my opinion because I was like, it's just very interesting to me that even like for the past few years, every Black History Month, every time certain musical conversations come up, people will post like there's this one specific post that will list every genre of music that black people have created,
Mhm.
and country is distinctly on that list. However, no black person was actively listening to and or promoting black country artists
I know I wouldn't.
until this very moment.
When Beyonce decided.
Beyonce did it. Now, that's no indictment to Beyonce. That's not. It's just for me, it's interesting because I've been listening to country for
Mm-hmm.
a good portion of my life. I would say all of it. Like Reba, there's records of me saying on this very podcast, listen.
You have.
Two black Cadillacs carry Underwood. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia by the Reba McEntire, which is a remake. I don't know the original artist. But Reba's is the... she did the cover and it just overshadowed the original. And The Devil Went Down to Georgia with Charlie Daniels band and stuff like that. So it's like you didn't really know, aside from Darius Rucker, who was of Hootie and the Blowfish, who can be categorized in country.
Yep.
But nobody really acknowledged him as country because he was just Hootie and the Blowfish.
Because he's a nigger. I'm sorry.
Right. Hard R. So I'm like, so now it's just kind of like, okay, so now you got the artist we just played,
Tanner Adele.
Tanner Adele. I know there's a black male artist, country artist that was in a thread.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was actually about to bring up a
Right.
list because I was gonna say
there was that list now.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Now all of a sudden,
I'm gonna let you finish your thought, but I'm gonna get to
but
that list.
That list is part of my thought because it's like, so how long have they been around? Like, this album was dropped last year. I think Tanner Adele's was 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the male artist. I don't know his name.
Yeah, Buckle Bunny, the song that we just heard by Tanner Adele, dropped in July 23.
July of 2023. So
And that shit's a bop. I ain't gonna lie
it's
to
a
you.
bop.
I can't lie.
Like,
That's
enjoying heat. Like my sister tweeted about it. She was like, "Yo, there's some crack in that Buckle Bunny." I was like, "What's she talking about?" So I went in, I Googled it, and I'm like, "Okay, black artist, black female artist, country."
I think she referred to herself as Beyonce in a cowboy hat or something like that.
Something like that. So I played it, and I'm like, "Oh nah, I can see why this shit got a little crack in it because it's a nice little bop." So I'm like, so now it's like now they're all like coming out the woodworks, and it's great. I'm not mad at it.
I was about to say, because what my thought was going to be, like a lot of people are like, oh, it took Beyonce for y'all to listen to country. Yeah, honestly, like I wasn't really actively looking for country music prior to the Beyonce songs. However, like you were going to say, now that Beyonce has dropped 2 country singles, right? There has been a list, right, of country artists that I went and looked into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got Tanner
I was
Adele.
looking for that list too.
We got Raina Roberts,
Okay.
Willie Jones,
Okay.
Don Lewis,
All right.
Brayland, and I also forgot Mickey Guyton, and she did she sang at the Super Bowl. I want to say if last year or the year before. Obviously not the halftime show, but she did the national anthem.
Okay.
So, I'm happy. I'm happy we're here. I'm down for a new genre of music because I haven't been listening to as much hip hop as I used to.
Right.
It's definitely some hip hop in it, though.
It is.
I mean,
It is.
Yeah. You're gonna put that in there because you gotta.
Still got to make it you.
You gotta make it.
Yeah.
You gotta make it you, and you gotta make it appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing Beyonce gonna do is appeal. We seen that
Of course.
when she dropped the PR team way back then.
Right.
Right.
You know, but like what I really think. Now that I'm hearing you guys' perspective, it's a 2-part thing. that I'm
Okay.
hearing, right? Because the first thing I was saying is she is about to take over this lane of country. First thing first, it's like, oh, yeah, Beyonce is going there, and she can. She's Beyonce.
Right.
Absolutely.
She has like defied gravity when it comes to what you can do with like a team and creatives, you know. So that's one. But the other side that I'm hearing is that it's actually bringing light to country artists. Like you're actually looking up other country artists. So it's like, I hope people are hearing that instead of being on the shady side of like, oh, nobody was listening to country before Beyonce. But it's like, nah, she's about to take over this lane. And what Beyonce already knows is that the genre is there. She just did disco. She comes from the era of 2000s R&B. You get what I'm saying? So she is. I like the way she moves. You get. It's like, yeah, guys. If you didn't know, there are black country artists.
Yeah.
Woof.
Now you do.
Now you do.
And, much to your point, people are saying, like, there are people that have negative things about Beyonce going into country. And, like, because, people are thinking Beyonce is just going to bounce around from genre to genre, which is, I'm okay with.
We do. Get all the Grammys.
However, what I will say is, I think I would hope that it helps the other black country artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could see the metrics because I would like to believe that their streams have gone up in the last month.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, it's a fact.
Yes.
And that's why, like I say, like it's no indictment. And that's why I'm like, it's no indictment on Beyonce and what she's doing. Cause
right.
I was the first. Well, you seen my tweet when I first heard Texas Hold'em.
Mm-hmm.
I was late to work that morning because I had to. I'm not part of the hive, so I had to get my rest. I couldn't stay up till midnight.
Facts.
You feel me?
Wasn't doing it.
So I was like, it's gonna be there at 6:45
when I wake up. Yep.
So I'm getting ready for work, and the first one I listened to was Texas Hold'em, and I was like, oh yeah, nah, it's okay. And then 16
carriages.
16 carriages.
I keep wanting to say candles.
Me too, because yogurt.
I remember.
And the movie. So I was, well, 16 handles, and then it was the yogurt, and then 16 candles was the movie, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was
So,
talking about. See,
Nah, 16
I'm always
handles
on
is
food.
over there at Fairfield.
That's
Yeah,
what
so
Frozen yogurt.
yeah, frozen yogurt, So I was like, okay. So after listening to 16 carriages, I was like, okay, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like that one too. I was like, that one will go crazy with an orchestra live. So when the concert happens, which it will happen in due course, that would be crazy to see done live. Texas Hold'em, I'm like, I need to go to the hoedown. I need to give them boots, spurs. I got a couple cowboy hats.
You know what I
I
didn't
was
realize was as big as it is, obviously because of the region of the United States that we live in. I didn't realize Houston Rodeo was such like a big event.
Oh.
That's like damn near the Super Bowl.
That's
it's like the black country music summer jam almost.
And it's crazy too that we're on. You brought that up, and we're
Mhm.
talking about country specifically with black folk now acknowledging it for it being like,
Mhm.
what it is. I went to college with this dude. His name is Stefan Marcellus. Shout outs to him. He was actually on the Voice.
Marcellus
Voice
Wallace a
season.
bitch. Sorry.
And he just recently posted on his Instagram. I want to say he's got to be in Texas somewhere
Mm-hmm.
with a band, and he's singing country at like a rodeo event.
Nice.
And he is black, and he got a cowboy hat on, and he's singing country. So,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I know, knowing him, that's not a shocker to me
Right.
because he's always been into that style. Like he's never considered himself R&B. So he's one of those like alternative and eccentric. He listens to everything. So to see him in that space is not a shocker, but it's just it now in this particular time because of what country now is
Turning
into. Well, it's its appeal now to black folk.
But I think honestly, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on Beyonce, but I think that's kind of what the whole point of this whole Renaissance series of albums is going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she went the house / disco route
Right, now
with part
country.
1,
Yeah.
and she's going country with part 2. I honestly,
I hope
my
people can catch it.
right, my prediction, the third one is gonna be rock.
I was just about to say off air before
He
you got
said
here.
that.
I was telling her that. I
What?
was like, the part 3 is going to be rock.
I hope it. Man, listen.
What if it's metal?
If she does rock, she'll go Tina.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because Tina was her.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything
I see
about
you, I see you.
Beyonce is Tina.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at Beyonce on stage in them heels.
Didn't
like,
she
that's
actually do a Tina tribute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
if
feel
she
like
were to
it's-
go rock, she'll give you that Tina flair with it. But I honestly think overall the third act will be rock.
No screamo Beyonce.
Nah.
Nah, because we're
She'll do
gonna
that-
we're gonna hear
she'll do that
Beyonce
soulful
enunciate.
rock. Yeah, she's gonna do soulful. She'll do soulful rock. She'll do that classic. Like, yeah.
Trying to think, there's a song on Lemonade that had like that rock sample.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of the song, but I never remember the name of Beyonce songs anyway.
Gotcha.
But there was like a rock sample on Lemonade, and I was like, Beyonce could do rock music if she wanted to, and I would support it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm supporting this country. I tweeted. I said, "Hey, Beehive community, can
Let's do
I
it.
join you?"
I don't want to be a part of the Beehive.
I'm not gonna be part of the hive. I just want to be on the ride for Act 2. Like, and I posted the meme of Jim West.
You know what?
Wild Wild West on that horse.
I would like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
It might be freedom.
Nah, it wasn't freedom.
Freedom all night.
And I'm looking at it now.
Oh. I'm like, it's one of them.
Because she went country on Daddy Lessons.
I got
6 inch heels, I want to say it was. 6 inch. I think that was a rock sample. Well, the question was going to be, okay, because random artist just popped up in my phone while I was looking for that.
Go ahead.
How do we feel about Beyonce switching genres versus someone like a Drake switching genres? Because people refer to Drake, myself included, as like a culture vulture. Like he'll just jump on whatever's hot at the moment. Like he'll go to from Afro beats to reggae to maybe he'll jump on some type of EDM record or some stupid shit and then try to rap again, and then he'll just go all over the place because it's what's hot. And then you'll have Beyonce who'll go from country to rock to R&B. So do we feel like there's a difference between what they're doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because country ain't hot in the black community. It just became that.
It's fair.
And mainly because she take her time versus to be hot, you got to stay on top of the trends. Beyonce will
set the trend, actually.
Set the trend.
Beyonce will set the trend. She
yeah,
short.
Yeah.
She takes her time. It's not just a thing, you know. It's art.
Okay. Yeah, because, you know, I was also thinking about, like, the Lion King album that she did, and that was mostly, like, African music and Afro beats and things like that. And I was like...
But it was for
Lion King.
It was for Lion King.
But still, she did... Ooh.
Right.
Oh, Latifah might be onto something, though.
So I'm saying she's been switching genres every time she drops something.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
For real facts.
That's unlike you.
Wow.
Especially as a Beyonce follower. That is unlike you.
So it's like, is there a big difference between what Beyonce's been doing and what Drake has been doing? And I'm just like, I don't mind. It's weird because I'm not Beehive. I'm not the hugest Beyonce fan, but I don't mind it when she does it because, like you said, I think she takes her time and also just shows respect to the people that were already in that lane.
Yeah, I was about to say, because she also, on that album for Lion King, like, she had a lot of African artists on that album, individuals.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a freaking epiphany. What's that? Yes, no, and yes. So, okay.
Her mind is about to collapse.
Yeah. So, not that I didn't notice it was African-centric, Afrocentric, you know. It's more so to say that the timing of everything, like The Lion King, like, oh snap. Right. But at the same flip of it, it's not a trend, it's a timeless movie that we all have watched. And that's kind of what I'm saying. She does art. Like, Drake can't do Lion King.
No. I agree.
I hear that.
Because
it's rap, though.
Huh?
You can't really do rap with, you know, things that you can perform, you know, vocally. You know what I'm saying? It's how I'm looking at it.
Well, he also sings that one note.
When it comes to Drake's handicap, you know? He has that.
He also sings that one note.
That one note.
Not that one song.
See?
He do, though. He do. But he know how to... That's why he got bars and know how to flip.
Right.
The versatility. He know he monotone. It's okay. It's okay.
You better sing that one note, Drake.
All the way.
All the way through.
And he did. He got a lot of hits.
He do.
Yeah, he do. I can't front on Drake's hits. I don't necessarily listen to him on my own free time.
I want to see Drake do. You know what? Maybe that book that he did was his version of art. Remember that book?
What, that poetry book where every page had one line?
Yeah.
No, because there was,
Why are you laughing?
there was never a book in my reading career that had one line per
I looked at
page.
it on Amazon and then seen the price.
What was that, like $50?
80
Ain't it?
for one-liners.
Don't-
Listen,
Don't make me cuss.
I'm
right,
sorry. I'm sorry.
right.
Don't make me cuss.
But I'm
As a
just,
poet myself that has dropped a book of poetry that
Right.
people referred to as expensive.
Come on.
yeah.
Y'all spending $80 for one line a page?
I ain't spend it. I just looked
They
at
refer
it.
They refer to your book as expensive?
Nigga.
Yeah.
Man, go to hell.
Not sure it's his. You
No,
get
I know
it.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
no,
anyway,
no.
it be your own people.
It really do be your own people.
I don't pay no attention
Oh,
to them. I
man.
don't pay no damn attention to them.
I'm going to just take that back. Drake did make art. He made a book.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear him musically, though. Like, something, take your time, bro. Like, tell us what happened.
I just want to hear from Drake and like an album that sounds like an album.
Yeah.
Like to me, every Drake project sounds like a mixtape or a playlist. You know, like none of the songs are not
Right.
cohesive. It's just we've gone from this mood to this mood to this mood to this mood, and I'm like, how am I supposed to feel here? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Mood mixer.
people always
mix it.
compare like the big three: Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick. J. Cole and Kendrick can make albums. J. Cole makes singles. So a Drake album is just like a mix of just singles. He can, and I'll give it to J. Cole. He can drop any one of those records, and it will be a single that goes gold, platinum, whatever. But when you try to listen to it as one body of work, it's like, okay, I need a break here because I don't know what's happening now.
I think I got there. Those other two that you're talking about makes art, too.
Facts.
So I think, good job, Drake. You did it.
You did it.
You have.
Well played.
But my other like off mic convos be that Drake is an actor, so he knows how to. That's why the trends, like, I guess that is his art. Oof. Did I have to take it back?
Wheelchair Jimmy.
He's an actor.
You can assimilate. Method acting.
He's an actor.
Degrassi.
We gotta remember that. So
So has he been acting like a rapper for the last 15 years?
I do believe so, and that's
do the
why.
people know?
Ooh, I'm sorry. You did it.
Is this his best role yet?
You deserve an Oscar.
Yeah. I think,
Best
knows?
off-camera performance.
imagine he might come out with like the Kanye trilogy style documentary.
I hope not.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not ready for
Okay.
that.
Never
But-
mind.
While we were talking about country, because Drake
Yes.
just happened, there was also one rap artist back in the day that did country.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I like the segue.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I know him.
Was it Cornell?
Yeah, Cornell Hines Jr.
Nelly
Ah.
did a country song back in the day. But he also recently in an interview said that actually it wasn't recent. It was on the LeBron show, The Shop, in which he said that his era was one of the hardest eras to come up in, which will be the early 2000s. Excuse me. Because every time he dropped something, he had to compete with people like Jay-Z, Eminem, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, stuff like that. Right? How do we feel? Do we feel like there's any validity to that statement?
What does he feel again?
So he said that
He feel like he ain't
the
getting
era
no
that he
shot?
came up in, right, was one of the hardest eras to be an artist, a rapper in, because he had so much competition at the time. He also, like, every time he dropped a record, he had to go against Lil Wayne, Drake, Jay-Z, like all these other big names.
Yeah.
and
understand.
it was like a battle every time you dropped something because you had other people dropping around the same time.
I think that's what the industry is. I feel like that's what it's always been, though.
Not anymore.
Not now.
Right, because honestly, you have, and this has always been like my big thing is like people be like, oh, I had the #1 album last week, but nobody else dropped. Who cares?
Right.
But back in the early 2000s, that was not the case.
Does he feel like he don't have hits? Because he
No, because he
it's not he wasn't saying it from a place of like I was overlooked or I was undershadowed.
Okay.
It was just a matter of
That it
how
was
he
challenging?
felt like,
about
that particular era.
right.
Okay.
Like
Was
that, there was so
for
much
anybody.
talent in that era
Like he just
that
said,
like when you
"My
drop
era."
something, like you really had to come with it.
Yeah,
Like you couldn't just drop no bullshit like people do now.
Cause like even when 50 dropped in the club, like Jay-Z went back to his camp and was like, "Yo,
I need something like that.
like that
Okay, I
nigga
see.
50, like
Right.
Shady Aftermath is coming with some shit."
Right.
Like that nigga 50 Cent got a banger. Like once he heard it in the club, like he went back to it and was like, "Yo, we have to do something."
Yeah.
Like you gotta like DMX was in Nelly's era,
Right.
and it wasn't like
Masterpiece.
it was-
And
and it wasn't
DMX
like-
dropped 2 platinum albums in 1 year.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was falling off. Like this wasn't
Yeah.
deteriorating X.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a challenging time, but I feel like as that's all every era. Like even now we have that. I don't consider like BS into the contender level. Like we have our era of that now too, including the few that we just talked about.
Right.
But it's like, you know, it's hard no matter what. I don't whatever XXL been doing with their freshmen this the past few years, I don't that's you know, like
Those
what
lists have
they
been
used
terrible
to
for the
do-
last couple of years.
exactly because it's about the
Popularity and
it's about population. And there's a lot of people doing more whack sounds, and I'm not saying that it's whack. It's just like
It is.
distasteful.
That's mighty white of you.
Or
Distasteful.
it's
It's very political. I like it.
somebody love it though.
Oh, a lot
That's
of
the
people
thing is the kids love it.
The kids
I don't
love it.
understand
It's like
what it is that
candy.
they're getting out of it.
Yeah, but I
But then again,
Excitement.
I guess
All they got is
the
energy.
generations above us didn't understand what it is that we liked about the Jay-Z's and DMX's and the Nellies.
Yeah.
until later.
Yeah,
Yeah, because now they love them.
Yeah,
Right.
Until later they.
And
I-
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like people will the quality will last. So the things that are I don't consider trends. There's a bunch of people doing that type
Fads,
of music,
yeah.
you
Fads
know.
and
But
trends.
how many people are
It's,
like Flo
not
Milli?
timeless.
I like Flo Milli, Baby Tate. She's
I like Baby Tate.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's people who are actually good, who are
They may not be the hot names that we're talking about all the time, like a
Right.
Ice Spice,
Right.
but the Flo Millis, the Baby Tates, they're dope.
Yeah.
What's the old girl with the voice I like? Female rapper. She
Lady
has a
London?
really Lady London.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
she's
like-
I love her voice.
yeah.
Like everything she does, I'm like,
She's
yo,
good.
that's fire.
Shout out to Lady London. Yeah, she got bars. It's
See,
crazy. But all that to say about Nelly's statement, like I feel like it's challenging all the time because people always want to be at that level, but there's always the quality rounds of folks. It's like, that's a sound, but this is good, you know.
but I don't feel like the 2010s and the 2020 artists try to compete like the artists from the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
Like it was competition back then. Now it's just like everybody's friends.
Because the independent era,
Yeah.
that grew. That's more accessible now.
But do we
I do think that is what it is.
like I kind of feel like to a degree, I feel like it kind of watered down the music. Because I'm coming from an era where like when you get a bunch of rappers on the track, every rapper's trying to have the best verse. Everybody's competing for that last verse because back then the last verse meant you had the best verse on the song. And now everybody's like, let's just get on a track and be friends.
Mad at the world.
It's like, I'm just going to spit and you're going to spit, bro. It doesn't matter.
We're here. It's for the vibe, dog.
Right. So we just vibing.
Just vibing, man. So I get it. And then when I heard Nelly, when I watched that clip, like when he said it and I thought about it and he started dropping them names, I'm like, shit. That was a tough era.
Exactly.
It's the Jordan era.
Bruh, like it's that.
Yeah.
It's a tough, like that was a tough era. And then when you think about it now, like you don't hear many stories from rappers now where it's like, yo, I was in the studio when I collabed with such and such, and like I heard his verse and I had to like rewrite my verse.
Exactly.
Like Busta Rhymes, several people have it
scenario.
Like Eminem in his heyday, like in his prime, Busta and Wayne would tell you like,
but Busta
I
came
had
from
to
like
go back and rewrite my shit after I heard what M did.
yeah.
Because I'll be damned if I get outdone on this record or
Right.
my own record. Like we used to say, like, yo, like M used to be that nigga, like in his prime, renegade. Like Jay-Z, I know diehard Jay-Z fans. Like I used to work with a Jay-Z fan, and whenever I brought up renegade, whenever I just brought it up, he would be like, yo, I don't like to admit it, but that boy M smoked my guy. And I'm like, listen, M's joint was cold. But like you don't have that.
You don't have that anymore.
So when Nelly said that, I was like, nah. And like on that level, and then on like just the album, like you said, DMX dropped 2 platinum albums
In 1 year.
in 1 fucking year, dog.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you ain't getting that now.
yeah.
Ever again.
Ever again. Like ever again. So
Nobody ever really did that either.
bruh, like that was unheard of.
Right.
Yeah, yo.
And so like even like you said, you had Ja Rule and Murder Inc. and that run was crazy.
Yep.
Like we know that run was crazy.
50 Cent G Unit.
The 50 Cent G Unit. That G Unit Joe marriage that happened in that time. Like them niggas couldn't miss. Like you ain't like what?
Yeah.
So when Nelly said that, I was like, you know what? And I sent it to the group chat. I was like, nigga, points were made.
Right.
Like points was made.
But like, you know how we used to do the verses? Like a dope ass idea, and I'm sure like one of the party promoters will probably do it. But like verses of music from 1990 to 1999 and 2000 to 2010.
Do the decade.
Right.
Who
Nigga,
got the decade?
I have spoke on this just on a
Right.
tip.
Right.
Because, but more so for the dancing aspect and that aspect of it. But for hip hop and rap, that would definitely be a dope concept as well, because you get to see like what was going on for nearly 20 years of time.
Yeah, that's
And what we had as a collective.
yeah.
Like,
You sound speechless.
because you thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
You thinking about your time, like when we were
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fantasia.
our
Had-
cousins' ages, our little cousins'
Like-
ages. Like I'm like, yo, we had anthems. We had timeless classics.
Like the kids ain't got no wild out no
Y'all
more.
not in the clubs wilding out no more.
They don't have a victory.
You don't have a I'm So Hood remix. What? Do you understand?
And
Like,
my white tees. They don't
Right.
got
you
it.
don't have. Like, you don't have a Shake Your Tail Feather.
You don't have a Rough Riders anthem.
You don't have. You
Rob
don't
the
have
jewelry
it.
store and tell him make me a grill. They don't
Right,
even know.
exactly.
What it do,
it. It's man Paul Wall.
They just
I
got
my
grills.
mouth looking something like
They don't have
bingo
they
ball.
don't have a I ain't never scared.
What?
They don't know where it
Bruh,
came from.
We be
They just
steady
out
mobbing.
here
They don't got a steady mob.
piggybacking off any.
Nigga, they ain't got a Quiet Storm remix.
They gotta.
Hot damn hole. Here we go again.
They gotta. They gotta do their research. That's what they gotta do. That's what
Everybody's just out here trying to be
Everybody
friends
out here
and
just trying to
you
be
know.
friends.
They
And-
gotta
and-
hear what the hits sound like
and pop pills.
Like they
Ah,
don't
no.
know. Like we had records that when you really dirt off your shoulder. Like nigga, we had those records. So when Nelly said that, and for that split second when he said it, like I went through as many of those names as I possibly could, and I was
Mhm.
like, nah, that nigga got a point. And it's not on, and he's not saying it on like, it didn't come from a place of hater. It was just kind of like, yo, like that era was extremely competitive.
Yeah.
Just like a
Like it's like the music debate of like this era's basketball and Jordan's era basketball.
right.
Like,
Speaking
he
of
does that.
debates, right? I have a question
What's poppin'?
because we're on the Nelly subject, right?
Hey, listen, Nelly Mo
If-
bangers.
If album sales are always brought into the conversation about who the GOAT is,
Because I was about to say that man got a diamond album.
why is Nelly never brought up?
That's a very good question.
Because he be minding his business.
Nah, because again, like when you talk about Jay-Z versus Nas, everybody says Jay-Z sells more records, blah 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 blah. Right? No other rapper has sold more records off of one album than Nelly, because Country Grammar went diamond, which means everybody loved it. The black folks, the white folks.
Listen, Nelly.
There's probably a
was-
nun somewhere with
Nelly was
Country Grammar under her pillow.
if a
I believe it.
and I'm just in my Rolodex of artists right now. Like Nelly, he did the crossover game
Very well.
very well. Like people like to think like, okay, well, like Drake Rev. I'm like, nigga, let me tell you what Nelly did in the year 2000. Nigga,
R&B crossovers,
Ride
country
with me.
crossovers.
Ones.
ride with me.
Listen, he did R&B. Listen,
He did that shit. Nelly went from making
If
a
you want to go and take a ride with me, hey, must be the money.
and wasn't even true rapping. That was melodic.
yep.
Nigga, he had us dancing to a song about
It was a drive-by
a drive-by.
to a child's theme song. A child
Going
childhood
down,
song.
down, baby, your street in a Range Rover, street sweeper, baby, cock ready to let it go. And we was just like,
Underlay, mama,
just sound like-
yeah,
it sound like-
oh, what's happening now? Nelly had Bob.
and sounded like nothing that was going on at the time.
Nothing.
Nelly, yeah. Go.
Then when he brought them St. Lunatics in, and Murphy Lee,
Look, people still talk shit about me for being a Murphy Lee fan back in the day.
he deserved more.
Yeah.
Man, thank you.
He deserved more.
Thank you.
Like, I
There's no
listened-
reason I should be able to turn on my Xbox to play 2K with Murphy Lee right now. He is one of my Xbox
Nigga,
friends.
I used to. Hey, come on. Shout outs.
For real.
I was like, I should not be able to access Murphy Lee like that.
Let's be friends. Become a rapper. Come on, Latif. You got
Yo,
this.
ISO. Like that's just like, you just gonna post me up?
Right.
That's great. Like I was like, I'm in the gym and I got Welcome to Atlanta's remix on my playlist, and I completely forgot Murphy Lee was on that shit. And his verse came on. I'm like, oh wow, this nigga really deserved more. I
Right.
completely forgot.
Like
he floated
Murphy
on this
Lee
shit.
had bars.
Like
bro.
that. Then Driving and Shake Your Tail Feather came on. I'm like, I remembered his verse verbatim. Like this nigga. And then when he dropped his solo album, I'm gonna make you love me, bang. I'm gonna make you love me, baby.
I feel like I was like the only person that actually had that CD.
I love that record. I love that more than what the hook gonna be.
Oh yes.
I don't need no fucking hook on this beat. All I need is a track in the background, my headphones loud, keep the blunt going around, and I'm a rip. Woo! What that hook gonna be? Like Murphy.
They definitely.
And Batter Up was a underrated. Like,
Batter Up.
That record got looked over.
The Air Force's joint, Air Force Ones.
That still gets played on XM radio. And I ain't even talking. And I'm not even talking like the Pop 2K stations. I'm talking about the stations that still have like Lil Durk in rotation. Like, stop playing with that man's name. Like, he got bangers, dog.
There's reasons why things are still cool, like Air Force Ones. There's songs that set the
He
trends.
deserves. They all deserve.
The white tees, the Air Force Ones.
They did. That
Grills.
was right. It was a competitive
It was
era.
a very competitive era.
But all of them really, really came with hits.
An album.
I think what we're really trying to say in 2024 is, where are the hits from them? Okay, I think that's what we really. Are we
Substantial hits, because the hits, they still technically happen, but they come from TikTok, which we'll talk about soon.
Indeed.
The hits are coming from TikTok now, not necessarily like organic radio play or going out and buying that CD. Like and I love Jid. Big shout out to Jid. I'm happy that surround sound went 24 with double platinum. But it was all because
TikTok.
Women were
They posted their phones to the top of the ceiling,
taping the phones to the ceiling and twerking.
throwing ass.
Like, it was a great song. It was a great song. But now when you think of the song, all you think about is phones on the ceiling.
And ass. Absolute ass.
Assolute?
Absolute ass.
Assolute.
Absolute. That's going to be the title of this episode. Absolute. Absolute ass.
Absolutely.
It's like when I first heard the joint. Absolutely. I'm gonna start using that. Well done. Patent that. We gonna quote it on Twitter.
Rhythm and Brews merch coming soon. Absolutely shorts will be out this summer.
I got an idea. Absolute. Gonna drop for the summertime.
That is gonna be good.
It's like, yo, that's marketing right there.
Period.
So
Coming soon.
hey, you know I love a good marketing scheme. Come on now. What was I about to say? The Silhouette record. Speaking of TikTok.
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Didn't realize that was Doja Cat song.
Until I heard it on XM. And the crazy thing is, like I've said it before, XM has a station that is
Strictly TikTok hits.
TikTok records.
Yep.
Shut up.
Yep.
Specifically.
No.
Like when you like if you ever get in my car, I'll find it, and it's like you can go through Heart and Soul, you have Rock the Bells, you have Pop 2K, and then you will get to a TikTok station. And that is all it is. TikTok records. But now, like you said, when I first heard Jid's song in full, I was like, oh no, this is a dope record. But it's like I didn't know how it started. I didn't. All I knew was that one section, that little stanza,
right?
And then the going out, and then I'm like, all like you said, all you thinking now is like, oh, it's that ceiling challenge. So that's why I say, if anybody out there want to do a little something, try to come up with a challenge to Party Jam, my record available on stream, but please help me out.
Or date night.
Because I tried to get that started over quarantine season, but y'all act like y'all don't go on date nights. Date people that like you.
Oh,
Yikes! I'm sorry. That was uncomfortable.
You almost turned us into that kind of podcast.
oh my
Almost.
gosh.
Can we not?
We're not gonna do that.
Okay.
But we're not that kind of podcast. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to get these streams up. I'm trying to get the corn. Okay. God damn. So if anybody want to get a little party jam challenge or date night challenge, go ahead. Get it. I would greatly appreciate you.
We're going viral.
Yes. I want a quick little viral moment for myself, so
TikTok FM.
I can
Basically.
infiltrate the game. Yes.
What? I'm
Basically,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm
Yes.
so sorry.
And since we're on the
You shouldn't have
subject,
said that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't know it was gonna sit with you like this. I thought you was gonna just take information. I thought you was gonna
we didn't
say
realize
that-
it was gonna
yeah,
fuck your head
I
up the way it did.
I didn't know you was gonna lose
What?
sleep. I didn't know you was gonna lose sleep. My bad. I didn't know you was gonna be at odds.
Nah, we good. We good.
Okay, my bad.
You know-
I still love you. I would never do anything to purposely upset you.
No, you good. I'm just
trying to
I'm
wrap your
just-
mind around it. Don't worry.
TikTok is still kind of new in my head, so it's like,
Right.
even though they've been around for a few years, it's just like, I can't believe all of this is happening so
Because
fast.
so many records have broken off
Off of TikTok. Right. And while we're on the subject,
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
according to Billboard.com,
I know them.
independent music publishers could possibly be leaving TikTok.
Ooh.
Now, there is more going on with TikTok that we may discuss on another episode because we don't have that kind of time.
Oh yes.
And I'm sure by the time the next episode rolls out, we'll have more details on what's going on. So I don't want to.
Yeah, we'll have
But-
more details.
We have record labels now trying to pull their music off of TikTok because the labels feel as though they're not getting enough of the, more or less enough of the splits.
Well, I'll be damned. How fucking ironic.
It's like,
Crazy how them tables turn, don't it?
right.
Oh.
But yet, the
But
artists,
now your damn artist is fighting for their fucking life to get publishing.
niggas is still eating cup noodles
Niggas.
while you on the yacht.
What?
Talk
What?
about take the music off of TikTok because I'm not getting paid enough.
Profit. Nigga, you not doing anything, motherfucker.
Right. What was ever done?
The irony of that.
Like first it was UMG, but now other independent labels are trying to follow suit.
That's crazy.
That's all.
I
That's
didn't even think about it like that.
See, this is why I can't be in those rooms. I'd be ready to punch everybody. Like, what the and I'm not a violent person.
Throw a chair. I'm mad.
Yeah. Like, I'll be ready to call everybody out their name. Like, what are we doing? Like, what, really? It's like it's like that SpongeBob meme where it's like, yo, who's been spending all my money on food, and he's looking at the picture of himself on the wanted poster.
Facts.
It's like, it's you.
Okay, so now that I know there's a TikTok XMFM,
Right.
I'm kind of stuck now to see what the problem is. So may y'all help me see that perspective of what the problem is? Why are independent artists or labels, you said?
Independent labels, yeah.
Labels.
Yeah,
Not
but
the artists themselves, but the
the
labels
are taking
trying
their
to take
art-
their music off of TikTok because they feel like, because again, like they're splitting some of the revenue
with this
with
platform.
TikTok
TikTok.
for because again, like the Doja Cats or well, she's on a major label if I'm understanding correctly, but the Jids and the other like Jake is I want to say a pop R&B artist, had a song. I'll come to it by the end of my sentence.
Yeah.
But he had a song that was like big last year, but he's not signed to a big label. But it's like TikTok is getting too much of that revenue because they're the ones kind of pushing the song. And it's like, now the labels are like, no, we want all of it though. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, now I get
That's
it.
crazy.
Okay. Now I get it. So,
Golden Hour was Jake's song.
yeah.
Yes, it was JVKE, so it was like an upside down A.
So were people not expecting TikTok as a platform to go that far or something?
Honestly, no, because if you think about it, like you said, there's a TikTok radio station, right?
Exactly.
If you look on Billboard, there's TikTok charts on Billboard,
Yes.
Okay.
right? So there's like R&B hits, hip hop hits, country hits, TikTok hits.
I think the very first chart category I remember ever seeing Sexy Red on
Was the TikTok
TikTok.
charts.
You know what?
or something to that degree. It was
Yeah.
like it was like viral something. Like it had
I know what you're talking. I don't know the actual.
Yeah, I don't know how they actually worded it, but viral was like in there somewhere for that chart, and that's when I was like, oh my fucking god, like that's upsetting in so many fucking ways.
And then when you got the major labels telling artists like Halsey and things like that, we're not releasing your album until you have at least one song that goes viral on TikTok.
Halsey.
Like, do you see what TikTok has done to music alone? We're not even talking about everything else. We're sticking to music. Do you see what TikTok alone has done to music?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could either make or break whether or not your album can come out.
Because labels is looking at the metrics of it, of internet, of how their internet will receive it.
Because for every 15 seconds, that counts as one stream. So if I play a TikTok song, if I play a
That's
TikTok,
right. They decreased the time because it used to be 30.
yeah, it's 15 now, which is why our Instagram and TikTok stories are 15 seconds.
Right.
So if I take one of your songs, I put it in my story,
Right.
it's 15 seconds that counts as a stream.
I'm gonna start putting my songs in there for no
I-
fucking reason.
I do it every time I try to
No,
post
I
something.
I
post
respect
one of your
that.
songs
I
in it
respect
because
that.
I'm like, all right, that's a stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. Y'all just about to hear my shit. Absolutely no fucking reason. Absolutely no fucking reason. I'm just It's just gonna be black screen. You gonna hear just because it's Tuesday. No specific reason. Just trying to get these streams.
Now, but
up,
think
y'all.
about it though, because think about you got the TikToks, right? That loop,
Right, absolutely.
right? Or the new trick on TikTok is what's 5 workouts you should be doing at the gym, but nothing ever comes across the screen. So you're sitting there watching, waiting for the answer, and the video just keep looping.
It's looping.
You just gave that song 5-10
Yep.
streams because you watched it that long.
And people are stupid, and they'll sit there and watch that screen 5 times, expecting some shit to pop up on the 6th.
And that's how some of these records,
On
like
the 6th.
like that
Oh my God, damn it.
Nicki Minaj record, that Everybody song.
Everybody.
Right. Like that's how that song got so big so quick, because people were making TikToks to it.
Mind you, people are now, again, and it has no context and no relation to whatever the content is, but 16 Candles has been people's song over shit that ain't got nothing to do with country, Beyonce.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with a hold down.
And that's a
A
pretty. I'm not
hootenanny,
gonna say
nothing, not
I'm not
even
gonna say it's a
sarsaparilla.
morbid song, but it's a pretty.
It's not, hey, listen, it's a bop. You already know how I feel about it. But it's like they playing it behind like you looking
It's a
in the
song
fridge
that you
for some
shouldn't.
water.
Right.
Right.
It's a
Like-
song you shouldn't be playing behind happy moments. Is basically what I'm saying.
Right. Or Texas Hold'em. I'm sorry, not.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen 16 characters a lot too.
Right, but I've
But
recently.
yeah, Texas Hold'em. Yeah,
'cause
you're right.
I was on. I forgot what page I was on, what profile page I was on, and like every reel that they had, Texas Hold'em was being played, and nothing
Had to do with
nothing
country music or
about
nothing.
that page. Nothing about that page. It's not a stand. It's not a fan page. It's not a stand page. It ain't a Texas.
Look,
it ain't a country page. It's just a page, and all they playing is Texas Hold'em on like 10 of their reels.
I'll put it this way. Even with our page,
Right.
one of our posts that got the most
Right.
ever views
Yep.
is because I put hashtag Taylor Swift.
I don't know, Swifties.
And I played it like I'll put a Taylor Swift song as the sound, but I'll mute the sound so you don't hear the Taylor Swift song. You just hear us talking.
Clever. That's how you get
Most views we've ever gotten.
because they thought they was gonna hear anti-hero.
Secrets, yo, secrets.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, we're about to hear some anti-hero.
No, you're not.
No, you about to hear 3 niggas talking. You about to hear 3 niggas talking about Taylor Swift. Gotcha.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's wild, and I think like even with ours, and this is just a sound, it ain't even music. But when I do like the ones gotta go on Mondays, like I use that, because that was like a viral ass
Right.
sound for so long, and then like I couldn't find it, and I was like, I started to panic. I was like, well, guess ain't no ones gotta go Mondays. I can't find that viral sound.
Speaking of which, like I went through my TikTok recently.
yeah.
You know how many of my videos are muted
Bruh.
because those songs have been
them
taken
switched.
off the.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yo, they taking a lot.
I gotta like re-record most of this stuff now.
Yo, it's wild shit. So yeah, it's wild what TikTok is and what it's done for music. And yeah, like I didn't listen to the whole interview, but Money Long had because she was on the Breakfast Club, and she had mentioned like her new song. You know the
Twin, where have you been?
Right, the song about Jesus, or it could be sang for Jesus as well.
Right.
She was saying like that song really took off through
Because
TikTok.
it's just like the last song, though.
Yeah. Oh, hours and hours.
Yeah, exactly. Hours and hours.
Oh. Oh, what a time that was. Everybody's real and TikTok.
Hours and hours.
Hours and hours.
And the radios.
And now it's
nobody know me like you do.
nobody.
Right.
That's so funny as you said that. I was singing that song all day.
See? Because
That's
TikTok put that shit in
No,
your
I
head,
don't
or
have
or
TikTok.
or
You don't have TikTok,
or
but
Instagram
she
Reels?
probably on
No, it's people actually.
see?
But it's people doing it on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing all the videos. It do be funny. It be
See?
funny.
And
It
they
do.
be doing challenges now.
Yeah. I be watching.
Kevin Bacon is in one. He did it.
See what I'm saying?
And
I get it.
Jermaine
He
did
probably
it.
wouldn't know Money Long if she walked right past him, but he's singing her song.
Gotta get those views.
Yo, that is crazy. I think I've seen what TikTok has done. Now that you guys explain it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wild thing.
I think whoever made TikTok is smart and probably plugged in because
Some
It's
company
like-
in China.
Yeah, it's definitely Chinese. Chinese niggas got something to do with it?
I don't know.
That was from
For
Drink
sure.
Champs.
Nori.
Oh.
Nori was like, he had a blunt in his hand. He was like, Chinese niggas got something to do with this. Yo. And that meme went viral, son. Everybody used that shit for everything.
Chinese niggas got something to do with it?
The plates in DC with the mambo sauce on the fries. He'd be like,
Chinese niggas got something to do with it?
Okay, so that's where it came from. See,
Yeah.
I be on. Oh man, I gotta watch
Yeah.
where these things come from because
For real, yo. I'll be.
Yo,
I
it's
see
be
the trends.
busy.
I see the trends.
Yeah. And it's like, in order to make a record work nowadays, you have to have like some stupid dance behind it or some challenge.
some sort of challenge. That's why there's like 12 different Texas Hold'em line dances. We just gotta see which one gonna stick.
It's gonna be like the Tamia thing all over again.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
that's cool. That's cool. Cause it's like they're making. It's not making, but I think the people have more influence now, and it's weird because yes, we as artists want our music to. We don't. Why should we have to do all that? But
Right.
from the platform creator perspective, it's like the people are the ones influencing what is hot, which does make it back to that trend word. So,
Right.
yeah, it's cool that certain people know how to, like the Beyoncés and the Texas Hold'em and the eras and longevity and timelessness, right? That people know how to tap into something new, because that's at the end of the day new.
Yeah.
You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, yeah, can you explain this, what you're talking about? Because it's new.
Matter of fact, I also had a
So,
list outside of that country music artist list. I also had a list of like artists whose songs went viral but never really got the recognition they deserved from those songs that went viral. There it goes. 4 artists who made viral songs but never got their flowers, and Aniko was one of them.
Okay.
That
I'm gonna be one of the greatest.
Right.
She got her flowers for me.
I don't think so, cause like, is anybody really listening to Aniko? Because her music is pretty dope. Her voice is amazing.
Very
But it's like everybody like, yo, put that in. You got that new Aniko? Put that on.
Put that on.
Is she on TikTok? Now
That's
that
where
we've had
she
this
went.
question,
That's where she got discovered.
That's
Though.
where she got discovered.
Did she stay on TikTok?
Like she sat there, she put her phone on a tripod, and just freestyled that the King's affirmations.
Okay.
And then that went viral, and then she recorded the song. You know what I'm saying? And then that became a thing, and then now she had to record the song as an official recording, so she can then get paid by TikTok for that song. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, there are people who are artists,
Matter of fact,
and then
you know that? Have you ever heard this song? Bitch, I'm stylish, black tuck, big t-shirt, Billie Eilish. That dude just made that song by like whatever, right? Because that song went viral, Def Jam went looking for him and signed him to their label so they could get some of the proceeds that was coming from TikTok. Have you ever heard another song from him since?
I have not.
He got signed to Def Jam from that viral song because they wanted a piece of the cake, and he thought he was about to blow up. You haven't heard another song from that man since.
Bro. We just need you for what you trying to tell you.
I don't like it.
The game is different, D-Dub.
Independent artists are listening.
The game is different. They out here.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's wild. And that's why they in the halls of Congress.
Talk about it. I like the way you segued into that.
They in the
Our final topic. Let's go.
They in the halls of Congress.
What they talking about?
They was like, y'all streaming services need.
Sir, I'm from Motown.
Yeah, play.
Go ahead, play it.
Go ahead, play that. One.
That was right on time. I like the way you did
Speaker,
that.
I'm from Motown, where our music has changed the world in so many incredible ways forever. But artists in my district and across our country are struggling to make ends meet in an industry where the money just keeps going to executives and shareholders. It would take more than 800,000 streams per month to make equivalent of $15 an hour. The vast majority of our artists are on platforms like Apple Music, Spotify. And one of the things that, even for them, they never ever get to 800,000 streams in a year. This is a big deal. Streaming now represents 84% of recorded music industry's revenue in the United States. But most of the artists who bring joy to our lives and culture aren't seeing any of it. The Living Wage for Musicians Act, which I introduced with Representative Bowman, would change that by creating a new fund that aims to pay artists at least 1 penny per stream. The bill will completely reform the music industry, supporting much more diverse set of artists, enabling more recording and touring, and sending a ripple effect throughout local economies by supporting professionals throughout the music industry. I truly encourage my colleagues to learn more about this, co-sponsor the bill, and help change artists' lives forever.
So I want to be the one to ask the both of you, the two artists in the room, how does it make you feel, right, that you would need 800,000 streams per year to make minimum wage?
Sick.
How?
The national minimum wage is about $15 an hour, $15 to $15.69.
What's the question?
The lady said that you need 800,000 streams a year on Spotify to make about $15 an hour. So that's basically what the national minimum wage is right now. How does it make you feel that you would need that many streams just to be able to afford a cheeseburger?
Disgusted.
Ooh, you want me to be real, or you want to?
This is why we're here.
Hypothetical.
No, be
feelings?
real, please.
Okay, so how does it make me feel?
Yes, as an artist yourself.
This is why I don't keep up with certain things and trends, and I prefer entrepreneurship and the routes that I do take, because I don't even make minimum wage. Back when minimum wage was $7.25, I was making 10 in the country club, cooking it up. I've never made minimum wage, and you know, I'm an adult. You're an adult.
I try to be.
I'm, you know, so. That's why I advocate for artists to get on a business, because anybody on a business is not making minimum wage, and that's the whole point. So how do I feel? Yes, she's right, but I also, from my perspective, advocate for independent, like, individuals. We've been doing this since high school. That's the whole point I went to college for. Like, I needed to understand the management and the skill aspect of my talent so that I could know how to negotiate and not ever get minimum wage. So that's why I don't follow trends in the first place, because I'm aware of that even being a thing. And what that does is take away from the reality of the situation, which is, who is doing that? And if people are doing that and complaining, then I'm glad we're having this conversation, because this is what people need to really hear if they're going to that independent route. Like, what are you expecting?
Well, also,
That's,
like, it's,
you asked me.
I know, and the reason why I want to ask that question is because, you know, the days of buying physical media is over, right? There used to be a time where you could record an album, and you could pull your car up to the corner outside and sell your CDs, right? You get $10 a pop off of the CD, whatever, however much you're selling it for, right? And you know you going home with maybe, like, if you're lucky, $100 a night, right? Whereas opposed to now, where everybody could just reach in their pocket and play your phone, your music off their phone for free outside of whatever their monthly subscription is.
Yeah.
And you may never see that revenue in your life, because you need 800,000 streams a year just to make $15 at the end of the year.
I know what I want to say. Let me hear your perspective, because I got mine. Listen, and it's locked in with this next thing, because we are filled in this room with it. You go ahead. Please.
We are filled in this room.
I mean, yes.
I mean, I've always had an issue with streaming. You know this.
Yes.
I've always voiced my issues with streaming and how the math does not quite math as the youth have coined. It's wild to me, because obviously, you know, everything, times change. So the way we access things or get things is going to change. But to know that mere pennies, not even pennies, on the dollar, you are getting
Pockets, I mean,
on
really
your
trying.
on the dollar are being deposited into your accounts wherever your distribution comes from and wherever you have that set up is wild to me. And it's like, because it happened at a pretty quick rate.
Extremely quick.
When you think of when Apple Music got kicked off, and I remember specifically the very first album I ever sat and streamed entirely, and that was Justin Timberlake's 2020 Experience Part 1.
I think I remember you tweeting about that.
That was in 2013. 2012, 2012, 2013. And it was so new to me because I think at one point I tried to go back and listen to a part of a song and couldn't because it was just on just one continuous stream of the entire album.
Right.
At that point, they hadn't really, iTunes was still a thing.
Right.
So you still had to go purchase the song, the album, whatever. iTunes is still present,
Not
but it's
in the
just
same.
not in the same light. So then in 2000, I want to say 16. I think 16 is when they really implemented streaming into Billboard, record sales, all of that.
That was 2016.
Yeah, 2016. So, and then when you started to actually look at the payouts, and then how many streams of a song you have to get
to get a penny
or $1 is crazy. But most of it's like a penny. So I think for like Spotify, it's 310 streams, and you know, it's wild because you know you don't know how to. You got to figure out your ways to navigate it and make it work for you. But it's for me. I've always looked at it in the sense is like, okay, so for the artists who have already got the following, because that is obviously a large part of it. For the artists who have the large following, the Beyoncés, the Rihannas, the Drakes, the Billie Eilishes, whoever, all the industry names, they're going to accumulate far more money than anybody that is on the up and coming, that is aspiring. So it's like, okay. So, like, Snoop just put out that, you know, he got 1 billion streams, but only 45 grand. What?
Like, and
now, granted, you think, well, it's Snoop. He got them, but that's not the point.
That's not the point, because even Money Long said, because you brought up Money Long on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
she said, we really don't get much off the streams. If you really wanted to support an artist, you still go on iTunes and you spend that dollar for the track, because that's how we're going to get paid.
That's how we're going to get paid. Like, that's it. Like streaming. She said it best. She's like, streaming is a developing country.
Yeah, and like, and for the folks like me and D-Dub is a lot more tuned in because I don't consider myself a DJ. I just have the equipment. Right. But for someone like myself, right, I wouldn't even know where to get an MP3 anymore. I can't go on iTunes and buy the MP3 of your music so that I can play the music at an event or whatever. I got to be like, yo, can you send me the MP3? Can you send me the file? I can't just go and buy it anymore.
Right.
Which is like in the beginning, when like back when I first met you, when I met you, like I could go on my phone. I could go on, because I had an Android at the time. I could go on Google Play Music. I could spend that $1 for your latest single. I could spend the $10 for your latest album.
Right.
And I would feel like, all right, Netta's gonna get paid. Denzel's gonna get paid.
It's
such and such is gonna get paid.
Like, and we appreciate it. And I know, like, I had put shout out to Scooty. I had put him on, I think, on the show when we was talking.
CD Baby.
Not even CD Baby, but just Title, because you know.
Yeah. That was here.
Title. But that was on the show, and I was like, "This is why." Like, for Title specifically, I mean, I
75
have one
plays.
I have 78.
78. Okay.
Like, I have two playlists of like Connecticut artists that I know, that I've heard of or whatever.
They just play and walk away.
I just let it play and walk away. But Title specifically, like every month, it'll keep track of your most played artists
and what their payout
month.
is, or something like that.
And it'll give them $2.
Yeah.
from the subscription
Right.
to that particular artist of that month. And he was like, yo, you just put me on. Like, I didn't even know it did that. I was like, that's also why I say, of all of the streaming platforms, Tidal is the superior.
Right.
Because even though, yes, there's still stream-wise, you're going to get the mere pennies on the dollar, but there's still that way of actually getting dollars in some form or fashion. So, like, I'll have my playlist just playing on Tidal. Like, I very rarely care about Spotify. But, as I've also stated many times on this show, like, Spotify, people love Spotify because they got the year in rap, that cute little thing that they do at the end of every year that shows you
the wrap up at the end of the
wrap
year.
up, and it shows you your numbers, your streams all time, and all of that, and it looks good, and it's cool
To post on your
post
social
on your
media
things.
every
It's got-
December, January.
Yeah, it's got cute colors and designs and everything, and people see your progress, and it's cool. But sometimes, like, the progress, depending on who you are, how you're doing, it can be a little, like, discouraging, because it's like, okay, like, I've been doing all that I could to promote this song or this record or this project, and I only went up like a good 2 monthly listeners. And then you start to compare yourself to somebody who has like 100 and some odd thousand monthly listeners.
Somebody a little bit more
a little bit
popular.
more popular.
Same city, a little bit more popular.
Same city, a little bit more popular.
Yep.
And then you just got to kind of remind yourself that, hey, listen, dog, they still here with you. They ain't got millions monetarily. They may have the streams of millions.
Right.
But
But they still in Thelma's with you.
pull out your calculator and do the math. Pull out your calculator and do the math. So for me, like, that's why I came out with merch.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this
Is where your money
is where the money's going to come from.
Right.
And it is also why a lot of the times I be feeling so frustrated and be feeling like, yo, do y'all not look at what we as artists get paid from through streaming, which is the primary way of getting our money? But when you come to us and expect us to either perform for free
Or pay to perform.
or pay to perform or pay for any reason to get our music out there, when we have already invested an exuberant amount of our own money into this particular piece of art, and you are going to ask me to pay $20 or $50 to play my own song that cost me nearly $500 to get done between studio, mastering, and then you want to tack on marketing? That's a whole other number that we don't want to discuss because it'll make us mad, like the TikTok XM radio. So it's like that. Y'all really leaning on that starving artist thing a little bit too hard. And it's like, listen, we ain't got to do that, and it should never be that. Especially when some of these people will charge you to perform because they got to come up with the money to finish paying the artist that they.
Niggas is
the
eating
headliner
cereal
that they
for
booked.
dinner.
But that again, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you good. I
Okay,
mean,
I didn't know if I had overstepped.
No, you did not.
But
you did say. You
so
saying the facts.
it's like when it comes down to streaming, it's like because again, I've been a victim of it where I look at people's year-end wrap-ups and I'm like, listen, I be asking my own cousin sometimes because I'm like, yo, what do y'all do on Spotify to get those numbers? Because I've done the playlist pitch. I've done all of that shit. I listen to countless Spotify gurus, music gurus, content gurus on the social medias. I've tried a number of different ways, and I just was put on while I follow they're like a podcast of people who are in the industry and listening to their take on what you got to do, because as new artists, they're like Mondays and Fridays, everybody's like the big artists
will drop music. So drop yours
I'm
on like a Wednesday.
So like drop yours on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Thursday. I was like, well, fuck. That's probably why Loving You Feel So Good has got the numbers, because I dropped that shit on a Friday thinking it's New Music Friday.
Right.
But I'm not meek. I'm not,
Right.
you know, big
Yeah,
enough
because that's
to
the
do it
thing.
on
It's
a
like
Friday.
if you drop on the same day as somebody's favorite
Yeah,
artist,
it's like,
nobody's gonna
ain't
listen to your
nobody
record.
checking. So now I gotta pick a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or a Sunday. Y'all at home, Sunday fun day. You know, winding down.
No,
for
but
the
they
new
at the
work week.
brunches.
Oh yeah, you right. They at the brunches. Shit. So when do I catch y'all? Tuesday,
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Listen to it on the way to work.
Yeah,
which
you
is
know
why
what I mean?
we drop
You
our
know,
podcast on a
'cause
Tuesday.
they're on Tuesdays. So it's like you got to do so much and worry about so much. And when you're an independent artist like ourselves, me and Netta, it's like y'all got to also understand we are our team for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like these other artists, the Megs, the Cardis, they don't. They get in the studio and they create the art.
And then just pass it off
and
to
they
other
pass
people
it
to do
off
what they have to do.
Their digital marketing team.
Wait.
Well, go ahead.
Because you said it and then you about to change it.
What
I
did I
was
say?
agreeing with you.
What did I say?
You about the art.
I'm sorry. What did I?
No, you was about to say something that's a trend.
What did I
No,
say was a trend?
You said they go in,
Right.
create the art, and
Create
pass
the
it
art.
off. Once you pass it off, that's where they give up the art. You see
Okay,
what I'm
I see what
saying?
you're saying.
It's not the art no more. That's what we do. Do you
I
see
mean,
what
I
I'm
feel that.
saying?
I feel that.
That's what's in this room. That's what I was getting back to.
Mhm.
It's art. Like it literally takes time.
It does.
It is an investment. The way you paint, those are paintbrushes. Paint costs money. My sister tell me, stop touching my non-acrylic. This is my oil paint.
Oh, that shit, dude.
You see what I'm saying?
I've
So
seen-
there
I've
is
seen
the same
cost.
type of audio
Yeah.
sound, and it is art. There is some people who are here for the hot cakes and potatoes, and they gonna pass it like that, right? And then there are people who are taking their art off of TikTok because the pass is getting them revenue. And isn't this the conversation that we always have in other industries?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That
Okay.
we
So
not getting it. That we not getting the revenue. So it's like, you know, like you said, they pass it off, but it's also just, you know, still, yeah. It's just.
What do you expect from McDonald's?
But at the same
dog?
time,
You
right?
cooking with Five Guys quality meat at McDonald's. What do you expect but minimum wage? No, that is my whole point. I'm circling it right back.
And I feel you, but it brings me back to something that I think it was Denzel posted. I want to say that earlier this week. It was like when I became a music artist, I just wanted to make music. I didn't realize that I was gonna have to learn marketing and
it wasn't the marketing. It was more so that you were going to have to be keeping up with the times. So content creating.
right.
And all of that, because there was I had seen another video that was kind of in the same. The frustration was the same, but it was more so. It was an older artist, and he was like, "It's very, you know, it's like we're pimping ourselves out."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, because when you're independent, he was like, you're the marketing, you're the marketing department. He's like, you're the manager, you're this, you're that. He goes, and then you have to be the content creator, and that can take away from the creative side because you're so focused on your numbers, on your analytics, your views, your likes, your comments, and because that's what these labels and the consumers are all about now, and that takes away from the art. So that can backfire on your whole creative process, trying to be all of that, and that you're focused so much on that you not even thinking about creating new art and new shit, because you're like, I'm trying to get my shit off the ground, and you need me to be this, and this takes time when I don't have a team that can do this. Like, it comes down to that conversation where it's like people say, "Oh, we all got the same 24 hours as Beyonce."
No, we don't.
No, the fuck
No, we
we
don't.
don't.
No, we don't.
She got 24 hours
and 200 people working for her
in one city.
in one city.
Like, yeah, nah.
Don't be delusional in front of me.
Right.
Right.
But don't make me cuss, because that is why she is able to do certain things. I was like, you think she is up to drop the song at midnight? No.
You think she's up to get the kids ready for school?
But at the same time,
Like, there are things that need to be done. Like, we as the artists,
yeah.
we want to be solely focused on the
The art.
art. And yes, and we would love to be part of the marketing. Marketing is fun sometimes. And you know, and it's and like, but you also want to at least be able to have a team of people who you can like give an idea to and be like,
And they'll execute it.
all right, so make that happen.
Right.
Because I don't know how.
Mhm.
Like, this is what I want to get done, but y'all know how to do this. That's it.
This is my art. That's your
This
art.
is my art. This is your art.
Mm-hmm.
What did Tyrese say in Fast 7? He's like, I delegate. Leader. Like, he
That
was
was
like,
Fast 32, actually.
yeah, he was like, because he was like, we need an idea. He's like, why don't we do this? And then they were like, well, how we going to make it happen? He was like, that's on y'all.
I just delegate.
I just delegated. So now, you know, Vin Diesel and them came up with an idea and was like, nah, that's the perfect idea, and here's how we gonna do it. That's how shit works.
That's how it should work.
That's how it should work. So for us as, you know, with me, like, it is me behind everything that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want me to be the singer, the songwriter, the recording artist, the marketing department, the management, the booking agent, the content creator, all in one. But I also
And
have
still work a full-time job.
I'm also a 9-to-5 worker.
And be responsible.
It got bills to
Who want to be
pay.
responsible and do all that?
Yeah, and I'm coming out of my own pocket to do a lot of this shit musically and promotion and all of that. And then on top of that, streaming services ain't paying me a damn. But y'all want me to pay to come to work for y'all. Fuck out of here. Like, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have not responded to people because I'm like, the moment you be like, yeah, so, and it's a dollar sign to do something, especially when I know that I've done that specific thing for free. Absolutely not. Why am I'm not going to, and I know there's different levels of radio stations, but if it's like a local radio station, why are you asking me for money to get my song on that radio station?
Payola.
My song. I knew a DJ at Fairfield University that reached out to me, and he was like, "Yeah, send me your shit," and didn't ask me for a dime. I have been on Westchester Community College radio to play a record. They did not ask me for a dime.
Listen,
I have been on a radio station in California, online radio. They did not ask me for a dime to play my song. So why are you here asking me? And
because
as
they
a
know
local
people
artist-
are
Yep.
people
Go ahead.
are
Yep.
are desperate enough to do it.
Oh, we
Like-
passed that stage.
Listen,
They,
myself.
they call it investment.
Or
that-
opportunity.
yeah, they'll use that I word on
No,
you.
no,
Like,
I'm
gotta-
saying
you
that's
gotta call
what
it. You gotta be. It's an opportunity.
I need people to
exposure.
wake it up though, because from the fine artists, and I'm gonna pass it.
go for it.
But from the fine artist perspective, right? Let's just say it's fine art. People who take their time doing the Mona Lisa took time, Basquiat took time. Let's just talk about like art as a thing that takes time, and musicians could do it too, right? We do that, and I think I see now my perspective of being independent is like, I'm doing this because I am enjoying doing this for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing, that's why it's not out there the way, the expectation. I'm not following trends.
Right.
You're going to get the music when I'm ready to drop it.
Exactly.
You're going to see snippets because this is what I'm working on actually editing, right? That's why you've seen that.
That was a fire video. by
You
the way.
thank you, appreciate it.
I'm all right.
But you get what I'm saying? There's other parts of the painting to it's art.
No, I agree.
You make art. DJ D-Dub make art, Roz make art. You feel me? Shout out to Scooty. Bridgeport got artists,
We do.
right? And I feel like
I can't wait till our joint drop. I'm sorry.
yes. Ooh. I feel like, when you're so eager, because I used to be that when I first started, but my mom is a Capricorn. So, no, I learned real quick that I'm not going to keep doing this, right? Because that don't make sense. So a lot of people don't get to that perspective. And it's an investment. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, they hear that all the time. They don't understand business the way we do and what investments are.
Because it's got to make sense.
So it's like, that's why they're getting tricked into doing it or whatever.
Coerced.
Opportunity. What word you say?
Opportunity.
They use opportunity.
Yeah.
Exposure.
Exposure.
Nah.
It's like, but what kind of exposure? Does the exposure make sense?
Are you gonna play my song at 11:30 when people are at work, not listening to the radio?
Or midnight?
Hey,
or
that's my shift.
I used to be on. Listen, fam.
That's my shift.
I was on WPKN right along with you.
I know.
Me and D-Dub.
She said,
When we
I
were
think
on the
I got y'all
radio,
shit.
we were on from
Late.
11.
yeah, I think she got y'all. She picked up y'all
I
shit.
got
Yeah,
y'all
we
shit.
from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Right.
We here, y'all.
Right.
Period.
And before that, I was 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Right.
Like,
So it's like at that out in that time frame, again, it's like, thank you. Don't get me wrong.
right.
I appreciate that, but
Cause y'all gotta know this. The spins do be happening on S&M
They-
Radio.
nah,
I'm a
they
quick
really
plug, real
do.
quick.
And some
Do you
people,
feel good
do.
yet?
They
and
do.
occasionally
Will we
people
play
do
you
call
too?
and say, hey, what was that you were just
Yeah,
playing?
they do.
Nah,
They
for
do.
Yeah,
real,
I
like-
remember those days.
But
I
I'm saying
remember
from the
being-
perspective of
Yeah.
streaming versus.
oh, radio, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, the money comes from radio.
Yeah, I'm making sure, cause that's what the people don't know.
The
Yeah.
money comes from radio.
Yeah.
That's what they don't know.
Again, and that's why I say with Spotify, it's cute because they got the year-end wrap-up so people can see the numbers. But they just see the numbers. They don't do the monetary math behind it. They don't see the return. Like, I could look at your numbers, and not to say like I'm pocket watching, but it's like you look at whatever your numbers are, and then you know what streams the stream payout is. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
that's what I'm saying.
But it's like that return investment has to make sense for me now at this point. Like, me and Netta have had plenty of conversations off mic, personal, over the phone, where we were once at that point where, yes, we've done the pay to play. I have done it. I went out to coast to coast. Throwback. I'm gonna set something up for Instagram tomorrow, cause yeah. But anyway, like, I've done that. But for me at that time, flying out and paying, whatever the amount was, I'm gonna say $250 off the top of my head, I think was the total amount. So between the $250 to perform there, I had to get the money to fly, and then the money to board, and then I had to have some monies to eat. And then I had to have a little bit of monies to, it was Miami, it was South Beach. I wasn't just gonna sit in my.
It was $15 for a beer.
Yeah, I wasn't just gonna sit in my motel room until it was the day for me to perform, which is on a Sunday. So, but for me, it made sense because I was in another state, I was in another city, I was gonna have the opportunity to meet new artists, create new relationships.
Yeah.
That's how you got that collab with Billy Blades, right?
So I got a collab with Billy Blade, another artist, Jeeves, who I have written a song, a verse for, that we was gonna do a record, but the producer on his end was acting funky. So, but he got another record that he want me on, and we still talk and keep in contact with each other and stuff like that. Obviously, again, Billy Blade, we ended up doing a record because he heard me, and was like, yo, you got the sound that I need. So, all that is just to say, like, we need the investments need to make sense.
Yeah.
And that's why, when it comes down to streaming and shit, I'm like, yeah, I ain't making enough money off my shit for y'all to be expecting me to pay money to perform or put forth my shit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and my hands-on experience kind of woke me up. I don't know if y'all know or remember Deucebug. Y'all know
Yep.
Deucebug?
yeah,
Okay.
we had him on the show.
We've had him on the show.
Word. Shout out to Deucebug.
Out in London right now.
Yes,
Hey.
indeed. Oh shit, good man.
When I did a Give the Drummer Some tour before, and we
I
did
remember.
11 states, 11 days. The shit was crazy.
Was that 2012?
That was probably 2014, 2015.
Okay, I was gonna
Everything
say
was
so.
happening in 2015.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like that's kind of that's what inspired MCI, and that's really what people don't know, because I went on tour with just CDs, the optical disc, okay? Like, you know, and I was like, oh, these people have T-shirts. I seen what it looked like, you know, and I was like, that was my wake up. Like, oh, this is what I want to do, but I'm not prepared to do this. So
Right.
that's the origin story of what started, you know, how it all started. So, yeah, we gotta have other realistic
Like I
revenue
might be getting
streams.
paid $20 in a cheeseburger
I'm
to
not
do this
doing
show,
that.
but I'm gonna just set up a merch
Yeah.
booth over there, and I'm gonna play my ass off for this show, so that way you're gonna want a T-shirt by the time I
Yeah.
get off the stage.
You
Yeah, that's
know,
how it is.
but it showed me the other avenues. It showed me how to be a full like entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So it's like I really encourage the independent artists to not depend on the flash or the huge numbers that ain't got a dollar sign in your bank account with it. Like,
Ain't gonna
No.
change your life just yet.
no,
Not at all.
Not
no.
even close.
Oh, is that a yawn?
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
It's late.
You know.
But anyway,
Yep.
before we sign out,
Boop, boop.
what you got going on, Netta?
Oh,
She looked at you.
you looked over there. I was
I
like,
was looking at you.
oh,
Sorry.
okay. Me, what I got going on, you know, S&M Radio every first and third Wednesday. Been on kind of a hiatus.
Say that again.
S&M Radio,
S&M,
S&M.
S&M Radio.
like the Rihanna song,
Yeah.
or her
Yeah.
initials, you know, whatever.
Or say no more. I guess we got triple, quadruple, a lot of entendres.
I like.
You know, but that's what's going on, and then just connected with my people. More of this, as you can see, there's been a little bit of content on the pages, and that's just off of like reconnecting and being just around where I know quality art was made. And yeah, that I wanna take my craft day by day, because again, it is art,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that I remember that more so than anything, and that's what I've been remembering, you know, and it's been fun. It feels good.
Word.
Do you feel good yet?
Listen all the
I
time.
see what you did there. See what you did there.
All the time, man. Listen, all the time.
What you got going on, Denzel?
Listen, I'm waiting for all the necessary musics to get to me so I can start writing for this album.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Like I really want to get this project done. Been talking about it for years, but as we've said, it's time. And I'm trying to just be okay with that. So there's that. I've actually, aside from obviously you were there with me and Scooty for that record that I've written, I was recently asked by another artist if I write for other artists, to which I answered yes.
Yes.
Get that money.
And so they said they want to collab this month or next month, one of the two. So I said, all right, and she's a female artist.
Hey.
So, which I've actually kind of penned a song that I got to get back to for that I won a shot for a female artist that was produced by Black Men 103.
Shout out Black Man 103.
So yeah,
Okay.
so like right now, there's that. I'm quietly behind the scenes, but just in the meantime, posting my shit that's out there now that y'all can find, go stream, put on to somebody, share, like, just put somebody on to it. I know my day ones know the records, but there's many more people that don't know the records.
Send it to your friends.
Send it to your friends
Send it to
that
your
love some
cousins.
feel good R&B. And yeah, and also just trying to get this record with me and Scooty out, because man, when that shit drop,
Make sure I have it.
D-Dub,
of course.
Okay.
what you got going on?
Quietly building my summer's schedule. You know what I mean? I got something going on in April where I'm going out with Kool Kim. Me and the SOBs, we're going to be performing at his annual cookout.
Nice.
April 26th, that weekend.
Nice.
DJing out in London. No, New London.
Okay, I was about to say,
Oh.
what?
Nah,
You
not
going
London,
across the
London,
pond?
man, it's crazy,
Everybody-
right? It's late. It's
everybody
late.
had a
I
moment.
said, hold tight, I got my passport.
I was about to say, you ain't tell us to book a flight or nothing.
You trying
Shout out to Eric Montero giving me the opportunity, spinning
Okay.
some deep house music, yo.
Oh,
Okay.
nice,
You know
nice,
how we do.
nice. Okay. I ain't got shit going on.
You
No.
crazy, bro. You crazy.
The book is still on Amazon. That is Candid,
Bezos is
The
Amazon.
Musings of a Prince. Poets Realm is still every first and fourth Wednesday in Bridgeport Creates. The Kumba Kickback is not happening for March, but there are some ideas to create a new event for y'all
pivot.
It's
to
going down.
pivot.
It's going down.
Because the kick, we're trying to transform the kickback. We've been doing the kickback for like 6 years now. It's time for something new. It's time for something new. So stay tuned. About April, May, we're gonna have something different for y'all. And that's it. Track 107. Make sure y'all follow S&M.radio. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes, S&M.radio
Bam.
on the grams. Make sure you follow the R&B podcast. Peace.